First mistake people make when they are running their trading card business online is they ship a card to somebody. The person says they never got it. They request a refund, and you assume that they were scamming you because guess what? I did that. I sent a borderless Entomb to somebody that they had bought from me for I think 12 or 13 bucks. And they said they never received it, which was really unfortunate. Not often, but sometimes I end up refunding like $1, $2, $3, $4 cards. And that's a bummer too. But man, when it's like 10 plus bucks, it really feels bad. And so when somebody says like, hey, I didn't receive that Entomb, that nice card, and you're like, okay, fine. I guess I got to refund you because I need, I mean, there's just no recourse. The way it works on TCG Player and eBay and most things is that if there isn't tracking, there's really no recourse as a seller when you sell something if the buyer says it didn't arrive. You just have to refund them. Otherwise, they'll escalate it and the person will get their refund anyway. But what was really cool in my case, this $13 card, was that it got returned in the mail today in perfect condition. So this person actually didn't receive it. And so it was a mistake for me to assume that they were trying to scam me. They were completely honest, and now I have the card back and I'll probably list it again. So there's lots of mistakes that people make when they're early on in their TCG kind of flipping, buying, selling, etc. And I certainly was not a exception to that. And anyway, all kinds of mistakes. And that's kind of what we're going to talk through today. Hi, my name's Nick. I run a business called capitalcatalystcards. I sold over 6 figures of cardboard last year, and now I'm making YouTube videos, and thanks for being here. We got 190 plus subscribers, which is incredible. That blew out of the water my goal of 150 subscribers, and so thanks so much for being here, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I will set a new goal. All right, let's talk about mistakes. First off, a couple honorable mentions. First honorable mention mistake is not organizing. So especially if you sell on TCG Player, but if you sell anywhere, is not organizing your cards well. Some people are built different and they're just good at organization. I'm not one of those people. I had the messy backpack, in elementary school when you just throw the papers in. And is not by default that I wanted to organize my cards in a way that like really made sense. I think my default is organize them by color, which is fine, better than nothing. But especially if you're selling on TCG Player, you want to organize by set and alphabetically. Why do you want to do this? Because when you get the pull sheet from TCG Player, it is organized by set and then alphabetically. And so instead of having to every order one at a time, go to your whole collection, find the cards, package them, move on to the next order, look through your whole collection, find the cards, package next order. Instead of doing that, what you can do is you grab the pull sheet from TCG Player and it's organized by set alphabetically. You go and you're able to get the cards by set alphabetically. And then you have this pile of cards so that for each of your orders, you're able to just look through that pile instead of going through your entire collection. Anyways, big mistake people make, not organizing your cards. If you're selling on TCG Player, there is a best practice way to organize. eBay gets a little more complicated, but that is a big mistake. Honorable mention is not organizing your cards well. Another honorable mention is having a printer that uses cartridges. I'm going to talk about this till the day I die because I spent, I think, over $1,000 on cartridges of ink for an HP printer. If you are buying these like special custom cartridges that go into your special custom printer, you're doing it wrong. In the description of this video, I link the printer I use. I stole it from Pokey Pastor. He recommended it. I did not steal anything. He recommended it and I bought it and now I'm using it. It's incredible. I've got hard eyes because this printer works so well and it doesn't use cartridges. What it uses is you buy a bottle of generic ink and you pour it in and then it's got this reposit? Anyway, this collection of ink that it draws from, it's very, very nice. So another big mistake people make is just bad equipment in general. All right, next mistake that, and this is getting to my official kind of top 3 mistakes that people make. And the first one is trying too many things too fast or trying too many things in general. And this is what I mean is that I kind of got deep into this. I got the connections with the stores that I needed to buy stuff at distribution pricing back in 2024. And immediately it was like, oh, I need to get my hands into everything. And what's funny about this though is that there was a way for this to work, but you needed to be an investor, and I was not. I was a flipper, and it was like, okay, I need to get my hands into everything. I'm going to buy some Magic. I'm going to buy some One Piece. I'm going to buy some Pokemon. But once again, all of the intention was to flip it short term, which that kind of worked for some things. You know, I bought Surging Sparks at $160 booster boxes for a Pokemon set, and I was able to sell them for $220 or whatever. So there's some short-term flips that are able to work, but then there's some things that didn't work. I was buying One Piece, and One Piece didn't have its big boom yet, and I needed the money quick. And so I was buying these products where I was like, oh, I can flip this, I can flip that, I can do this, I can do that. When I would have been so much better off if I had just stayed in my lane, which at that time and still in this time is Magic. If I had just focused on, hey, what are the products I know? What makes money? What do I know will make money, and stick to that would do so much better than what I have done, which is all kinds of varieties of things like, oh, I can flip this, I can flip that, I can do this, I can do that. We also see this in the way that people sell on different channels, right? So, you know, it's exciting when you get into TCG selling and you think, okay, I need a TCG player, I need an eBay, I need my own website, I need to do rip and ships, I need to do everything, and that's just not true. It's perhaps good to try everything. I've tried everything. I've tried all 4 of those things that I've listed, and I've learned a lot, and that's part of what I'm sharing. But if your goal is to make money, you don't need to try everything. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do one thing really well. And so in hindsight, especially for the flippers, what works? Buying at 70% or inverted expected values. That works, right? If you buy collections at 70%, you're able to sell them close to 100%. The individual cards, in your after shipping fees, you're able to net 10%. Boom, that's profit. If you're able to arbitrage, same thing. You know, if you're able to buy products where their value, their expected value of the cards in them is well over what you're paying for it, such that after shipping and fees, you still make money. Boom, diddly boom, you know? So stick with what will work. You don't need to do everything. Another thing, a sub point to this point is there's, you say like, oh, there's inverted expected value. This thing's guaranteed to do well. There's one exception to that. That exception is something that is getting reprinted. And so let's put it this way. If you, unless you're a really special Timmy, if you get access to buy something and the price is super high everywhere, but you're getting it at a super low price, you're either 1, being scammed, or 2, the price is going to drop a lot very soon, right? So you can be like, oh man, this is a good story. This happened to me with Foundation's Jumpstart booster packs. I don't know if you were there, you know. But when these came out at first, their expected value was inverted to the extreme. And I don't know exactly how the distribution network worked, but this is what I imagine happened, because what I experienced was people were getting these release weekend, opening them and tripling their money. You know, so they're spending $100 on this box, opening the cards, opening $300 of cards, selling them, making great money. Whatever. That all ended within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, expected values, boom, shot all the way down. So what I imagine happened is that the first release wave was really small. And then there was a follow-up release wave very shortly after, that shipped a week or 2 after release day. And such that, such that all of the inverted expected value that people are really excited about just completely diminished. So the word of warning is that if you see something that's crazy inverted expected value and it's oh, I'm guaranteed to make money off of this, be warned. If it is a massive reprint, there's going to be some kind of reckoning. What happened for me, I saw the people make tons of money week 1. So I decided to go onto eBay, go into the open market, buy these things because I knew there was going to be double, triple expected value. I got them, I opened them, and by the time I sold the cards, I did not make money. Maybe I did a tiny, tiny bit of money, but not the double, triple. And I might have lost money. I can't remember exactly the details, but yeah, so watch out. Okay, that was the first big mistake people make, is trying too many things, trying the wrong things, not staying focused on what you know is going to work. Okay, number 2. Let's see. How do I put this? There's 2 ways to get sales. And this is what I wish I'd known. And so I guess the mistake is not knowing this and not following this. There's 2 ways to get sales, to get people to buy the cards in your inventory. One is you have the lowest price. If you have the lowest price on any card, people will buy it from you. It is what it is. The second way, though, is to have lots of different cards. When you have lots of different cards, people, when they're trying to optimize their card, people in general want to buy more cards from the same person. So if you have a bunch of cards, even if they're not the cheapest, people will still be interested in buying from you because you have a bunch of different cards, right? So the 2 ways to get sales: have it the cheapest or having a bunch of cards. When I first started out, of course, had to be the cheapest, especially when you're that level 1, level 2, level 3 seller on TCG Player. You don't have very much inventory. If you want to get sales, you just got to have the best deal. And so I was pricing cards the cheapest they were on market or under market. Like if the cheapest card, if I had a $15 card and the cheapest listing was $15, I'd list it at $14.50. And that's how I got my first sales. But eventually, when I started opening commander decks, started buying collections, I had this wide swath of cards. And at that point, I no longer needed to sell at TCG low because I had so many different cards. And so I was able to raise my prices to be closer to TCG market. And I was still getting sales. And it works, right? I was making more money. I could have made more sales if I priced everything out low, but there's also like a threshold, right? How many envelopes are you willing to pack a night, right? For me, my top is like 30. And so if I have 2,000 cards that are desirable from a variety of sets, from commander decks, from wherever, if I price those at TCG low, I'm going to get like 100 orders a day. It's going to be rough, right? So pricing at market or even above market is how I keep it to 30 orders a day. And so what the takeaway here and what the mistake people make is not understanding the market, not understanding how prices work. And you can use the prices as a tool, right? If you want more sales, you lower prices. If you want less sales, you raise prices and you get higher margins. And all that only works though if you have a lot of cards. If you don't have very many cards, if you want to get any sales, you have to price low. All right. And the last tip I want to talk about tonight is I wish I had started sooner. This is the kind of like cheesy whatever tip, but when I've been selling on eBay since like 2013, just open a booster pack, get a card that's worth money that I didn't really care for, sell it on eBay. I remember my very first, I think, sale on eBay. My grandma bought me it was called Fat Pack at the time. Now they're called bundles, but a Fat Pack of Innistrad, the original Innistrad. So I got 9 booster packs of Innistrad, opened those up, and I got 2, what are they called? It's the black green check land. It's like woodland cemetery, I think. I opened 2 of those, which when you're relatively new into Magic, opening up dual lands is not very exciting. And even back then, those weren't very expensive cards. I think I was able to sell them for $4 each on eBay. And that was like my first sales. I put them both on eBay, $4 each. I think the same person bought both of them, maybe not. And so anyways, I've been selling on eBay for a long time. But realizing, like, I don't know why I didn't sell on TCG Player sooner, because I've sold so many cards on eBay and it is such a pain to take pictures and to list and everything. I know there's good money to be made on eBay if you're willing to play their game, if you're willing to get the scanner and do the full thing. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. I've been watching this guy who sells mostly Pokemon, but Magic too. who's going all in on eBay, and there's lots of success to have on eBay. Gem TCG is a guy who goes all in on eBay. But if you're like me and you're looking to just do volume and lower effort, I guess, then TCG Player is where you want to be. And when I started selling on TCG Player in 2024, got really heavy in 2025. I think I sold over 70,000 or something like that dollars worth of stuff on TCG Player in 2025 alone. It is incredible. It is really efficient. It is really easy to use if you use their platform the way it's meant to be used. There's improvements that the platform needs, like shipping and things like that. But in general, it is just so good. And so starting sooner, sell your extra cards sooner. Buy collections and sell it sooner. It's not for everybody, but I'm saying, like, the person I'm talking to is the person who's like, wait, is he talking to me? And it's like, yes, I am talking to you. And that if this is something you've been thinking about and you're like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? Do it now, because if this is something you're going to get passionate about and get excited about and going to be like an incredible way to turn your free time into money, the cards you're not using, the free time you're not using, whatever, it can be like a really fun thing. I have a lot of fun packing envelopes and just listening to YouTube and shipping out these cards that I bought from collections at 70%, saw at 100 and net 10%. It's like a cool, productive thing in my life that makes money. And so anyways, starting sooner. So those are the tips. Thanks for watching. Once again, if you have not subscribed, please do. Details are forthcoming about live streams. The goal is to do weekly live streams. I'm going to nail down those exact details and get those to you. Once again, in the description, check out my store, buy cards from me, and thanks for watching.